guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. How are you guys? I hope everything goes well to you. And then here I'm Sylvia, that is staff from Literature A 2019. Today I'm gonna do some presentation and then a little bit explain about the hedges. But I absolutely will relate it into some journal that Mem Lusatia has done before. It's by Layla and Jeria, and then the title is about preserving faith and the use of hedges in masculine world of men. But before we jump into the explanation of the journal, I would like to give some general explanation about hedges. So here, what is hedges? Actually, I found some another explanation from another article. So this is as what Mulatsi said. Hedges are linguistic resources that convey the fundamental characteristic of doubt and certainty. This is a little bit confusing, but actually we do the same thing about hedges in our daily conversation. Uh, and then George Lakoff, another explanation, George Lakoff argues that hedges are words whose job is to make things fuzzier or less fuzzy. It's same with what Mulatsi said before. It's actually there is a gap between doubt and uncertainty when you use this in our conversation. And then I would like to give example, but not right now because it would be related into our analysis in the journal, something like that. And then the next is about the types of hedges and what are they? There are 7 types of hedges. That's next. Okay, the first is modal auxiliary verbs. So this is the way you add some word modal auxiliary verbs like may, can, could, and another. And then the second is modal lexical verbs. It's absolutely you add some another verbs like to suggest, to propose, to speculate. It's like reflects you want to tell about your explanation between your unsure thing, but you in the same way, and at the same time you believe this. And then the third is about adjectival, adverbial, and nominal phrases like probably, perhaps, and then I claim, actually, something like that. And then the fourth is about approximators of degree, quantity, frequency, and time. Like you add some often. I go to school about it's a little bit you sure about your belief, but at the same time you are uncertainty about this. And the next is introductory phrases like I believe, in my view, something like that. And then the sixth is if clauses like what if only, if true, something. And then the next is compound hedges when actually you combine another types of hedges with another one. It's like you combine and then we end up with the complex sentence like such as modal auxiliary combines with lexical verb and then becoming the and then end up with compound hedges with complexity is a little bit different. So the next is okay, this is the main part, jump to the journal. Okay, so what is the paper about? What we gonna talk about? So it's actually this look is as intenses of hedges in men's interaction in order to determine the ways these features are employed by Iranian men. So the researchers doing this research through the Iranian men, and then to examine how these elements are applied in their face-to-face informal interaction, and then also explaining about how Iranian would interact, comparing with how the way women use hedges for in their conversation is a little bit late. It is this is so this is so controversial about it. Let me explain later. And then focusing into hedges as epistemic modality. So this is the main part. So the Others actually give us some limitation. Yes, it's absolutely about hedges, but the main part is the type of epistemic modality. Okay, the hedges is epistemic modality. And what is that? It's the linguistic forms that actually show how people talk between their certainty and their unsure about the truth of the proportion they express. It's a little bit the same, but it's how we reflect this into our action, and then how many proportion that we can express. Like, as I can say, if we have the maximum proportion is 100%, you only can talk in the 30% with the hedges or epistemic modality. And the function, what is the function? It's like how to show, it's absolutely yes, to show an uncertainty, and then to show the speaker politeness, and then this is used like informal friendly interaction, and then to decrease the sensitivity of the topics. Okay, that's next. Okay, this is epistemic modality and the gender. So actually Lakoff ever explained that women use hedges without any justification and showing they are weak because they only like not always talk about all of the proportion, but only like something like that. And then Lakoff argued that this is the kind of weakness. But Holmes directly criticized Lakoff's assumption that actually women use epistemic modality is to express their confidence. They have their knowledge and then they tell to another people, and then it's kind of politeness. And then this is the analysis of the hedges used toward Iranian men. And then this is the example. The first is self-disclosure. So Iranian men, the researchers gather all of the Iranian men that they agreed to do these researches, and then they found that they do some conversation is like to self-disclosure. Like the example one from the example two, you can read that for your own self. So actually, the usage of I think, for me, this is the kind of like not sure about something to covering their embarrassment, like the way they want to self-disclosure, they want to express their self, but in the same time, they don't know each other because I read this journal is actually doing this research is uh, they gather all of the Iranian men with the same social background. So there is no racist thing like you are richer and they are poorer, something like that. And then, like the example is like they explain how they tell about their life with someone that they just met, and then this is how can they really have a gap. They want to tell the truth, but at the same time they covering their embarrassment. And then the second is about sexuality. So from the example 3, 4, and then the fifth example, you can read that. So actually there also I think maybe the expressive are loving, and then you know that that we have there is some gap, there is some uncompletely sentences. It seems like you know they try to save their own face to in case their statement are rejected by other friends, they don't want to tell all of them. Like this is so the intimation is all with little bit maximum. Like this is the fifth example. If you can read that in the fifth line, like and then there's a square bracket. The masturbation of the child when the fathers come. It's a little bit. The intimation is a little bit high. So it's related into the man pride. So they don't know to put into words properly, and then how the reducing the sensitiveness and how they cover their face in the embarrassment. And then the third is about uncertainty. Of course, all of you will be agree with this because from the sixth example and the seventh example is already explained that yes, the usage of hedges absolutely about uncertainty. So we are in the last slide. What is the conclusion that we get from the journal? Absolutely, it's about the hedges. It's about the uncertainty thing. This is there are some gaps into the people that we use hedges into their daily conversation, and then how they need to express themselves, but in the not the same, not the full proportion to show their talk, something like that. So the conclusion is little, it's clear that actually this is how the conversation going, and then not only men can do hedges, but women and men is it's same to use the hedges into their daily conversation. If you realize it or not realize it, so we use hedges in our daily conversation with people that we already know, even we don't know either, something like that. Oh, so this is my last slide. Thank you very much, guys, for watch this video and watch this explanation. If you guys have a question, please don't be shy to ask me the question in the chat column. So thank you very much for your attention. Bye bye, guys. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you next time.